Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Doctor Who Daily. Everyone has a Russell T Davies hot take. He's going to do this, he's going to do that. Oh, he put a black woman in his novelisation. Why don't you think about this for a moment? Not that I have any issue of a woman of colour being the next Doctor, because Russell is going to be writing for her. So he's going to be responsible, he's going to make it awesome, and he's going to represent her in the right way, as Jodie Whittaker should have been represented, but wasn't. Anyway, let me explain something to you. When he wrote that novelisation, do you not think he knew he was coming back to Doctor Who? Do you not think that maybe he's trying to distract you from his real plans? But what are his plans? As I say, I don't care how the next Doctor identifies, as I don't have any agenda there. So if it is the lady everyone's talking about from one of Russell's previous productions, then hey, you know, I haven't even seen that show that much. I saw an episode or something, so I don't really know what she's like as an actor. So I'll judge her when if and when she becomes the Doctor. But what are his plans? Everybody thinks they know, but nobody knows. We read an article yesterday where Stephen Moffat has been literally told everything. So I think it's believable that Stephen probably knows who the next Doctor is, but he's not saying anything. Obviously, he wouldn't. No one is. The people who do know are sworn to secrecy. You don't know who's being cast as the next Doctor. I don't know who's being cast as the next Doctor. But something very interesting is happening here with the brand new Russell T Davies era. And I don't think you have any idea what he's planning. Russell T Davies is a very intelligent man, and although Chris Chibnall is his best friend and publicly he's called his era tremendous and called Jodie Whittaker a tremendous Doctor, he knows the IP has been damaged from the first moment he left. Inconsistent showrunners, inconsistent seasons, you know, hot takes on a character that people have loved since 1963, and it's created a diversive kind of atmosphere around the fandom. It's very toxic, it's very mean-spirited, and we all know that. Russell T... Look, Doctor Who fandom, all fandoms can be toxic. It was kind of toxic in the RTD era, but not to this level. Everyone always has an opinion. One of Russell's jobs will be, and I know he'll take this responsibly, and he will want to do this, is bring the fans back together. There'll still be disagreements and arguments and people blocking each other, of course. But I think he understands that he has to bring the classic Who fans back to the party. You can't have an IP without the people who go to conventions, buy the merch, buy the Blu-rays, buy the DVDs, sit there waiting for another Doctor Who restoration. These are the lifeblood of Doctor Who in terms of making money. And when those people go away, when those people are told they are not welcome because of the colour of their skin or their gender, you've got a very serious thing going on here. Now, this is happening a lot with the entertainment industry, but in the world that we live in as a whole. And it's wrong. It is wrong to discriminate against anyone for their gender or their colour. Even if that, excuse me, even if that colour happens to be white and you're male. It doesn't matter where you're from, how you identify as, you deserve to be judged on the person that you are inside. And once we don't do that, and once we let our politics infect us toxically, and we ruin entertainment and we ruin fun and enjoyment and things like that, we've got a big problem. So Russell T Davies understands that he has to bring people back. There's one rumour going around that he may do some sequels to some classic era stories. Now, that's interesting because he brought Davros back, he brought the Daleks back, that's one thing. But we're talking about proper sequels, not only to classic Who stories, but to novelisations and Big Finish stories as well. What I'm told Russell T Davies wants to do is make Big Finish canon in the live action universe officially. He wants to continue and, as I say, do sequels from classic Who stories. He wants to look at fan fiction as well and maybe adapt it onto his brand new RTD2 era, right? So the new era of the Russell T Davies era. It's confusing, isn't it? I didn't say that right at all. But anyway, so if these are his plans, they're very exciting plans, because he knows and he understands that the people who spend money on Big Finish. So he is looking to be very ambitious here, but he's looking in ways of bringing people back, bringing people together. What's really important here with him and not Big Finish, but him and Bad Wolf Productions really being in total control of this thing creatively, that they can do whatever they want. They don't have to give interviews to the media, the outside media. They can do interviews via Doctor Who Confidential. They'll not have to talk to anyone else. Maybe not even do press conferences anymore. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting publicity-wise what Big Finish and Russell do. So I think, excuse me, oh my God, this throat, honestly. I've been struggling through 2 other videos, so you're going to have to forgive me. Really frustrating, I'm so sorry. But, so, it'll be interesting what happens publicity-wise if it's going to be a kind of in-house publicity, or if he's going to go to journalists and talk to other newspapers and let everyone talk to him. It'll be interesting if he wants an echo chamber inside Bad Wolf Productions, do a Doctor Who Confidential type of show again, which I think is a very good idea. Talk to the fans that way, or do that, but be very welcoming and Russell T Daviesy, because we know that basically Chris Chibnall doesn't talk to journalists. He doesn't talk to fans. He's not on social media. I don't blame him right now, because it wouldn't be a nice place for him to be. He does have some appreciators. His era is appreciated by some, but more often than not, people are very angry with him. And I think The Timeless Child has brought that anger to him. As I've always said, The Timeless Child intrigued me, and he could have done it properly, because The Timeless Child should have had a big run in Doctor Who Flux, or in another event series, or his 3rd series. He could have expanded on it. We could have seen the Doctor's lives as the Timeless Child. We could have not see all her origins and have everything answered. Just expand on it. Otherwise, Chris, what's the point? As a writer, if I was going to do something like this, I'd somewhat expand on it. I wouldn't necessarily say, I'm going to give you all the answers. No, it's a mystery. The name Doctor Who is a mystery in its fucking self, right? Just see the title of the fucking show. But if you're going to launch The Timeless Child, you have to expand on it. You have to show us something. You have to expand on the Fugitive Doctor and all these intriguing concepts you've given us. You've given us intriguing concepts, Chris, and done nothing else with them. So from the moment Russell was announced, I did have the feeling that this was a way of appeasing people. And although he will do whatever the fuck he wants, I think especially with the 60th anniversary, they're going to be looking to please people. There won't be conversations. He will not talk about the Chibnall era. Very briefly, but he will want to get away from it without looking like he's getting away from it. He will not be negative. He'll be friendly towards Chris. Chris is his friend, of course, so he supports his friends. He even told me off when I tagged him on an Instagram video and of my own, and he told me off for tagging him on a negative video about his friend. So I apologised, of course. And I get that. Of course, I understand that. But it doesn't get away from the fact that the Chris Chibnall era is not fit for purpose. Russell knows this. He knows there were issues with it in the Moffat era as well that upset people. So now it's about bringing people back. So whatever you think he's going to do, be sure of this. There's going to be a more friendly environment. He's going to try and bring back the classic Who fans, because he knows. He knows they're the lifeblood of the fandom. You may not like them. You may be a younger Doctor Who fan, a fan of Jodie and Chris, and that's fine. All power to you. And you may think us older fans are not important, but we are the people who spend the money, no matter how we identify as, what you think of us as men or whatever. That's the truth. And ultimately, Doctor Who has been going for a very long time because it makes the BBC a lot of money. And from the moment it stops making the BBC money, they're not going to make it anymore. Right now, they could have cancelled it. But bringing Russell back, allowing him to have a creative control over it with Bad Wolf Productions is the last throw of the dice. And that's why they're not going to be disruptive with their decisions. I can assure you of that. This has been the Doctor Who Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. And I'll see you again tomorrow with even more Doctor Who Daily. Until then, goodbye, peace, auf Wiedersehen.